Wherever I sing, even if it's at the Metropolitan Opera, I feel like at least 50% of the audience has never heard a countertenor before. And if you're outside of the opera house in real life, you know, on the street, I would say even 90% of people have no idea what a countertenor is. But they've heard Michael Jackson, and they've heard Prince, and they've heard, you know, Justin Timberlake, and all the people who sing in a falsetto voice. And so it's both a familiar and a foreign register in some ways. I've used that to my advantage to kind of draw people in and give them a way to connect immediately, at first through their shock, and then as they listen, hopefully through the beauty of what we're able to create. I'm Anthony Roth Costanzo, and I'm a countertenor, opera singer, producer here in New York City.
Mozart, voi che sapete?
I began performing professionally when I was 11 years old, first in Broadway, and then by the time I was 13, I started doing opera, and so my voice was starting to change, but I didn't even know it. And someone around the opera world said, "Are you a countertenor?" And I said, "Well, what is that? I don't know." And I started listening to the legacy of Alfred Deller, Russell Oberlin, and other countertenors since then in our modern times. Over the pandemic, I worked with the New York Philharmonic to create this initiative, Bandwagon, and I had this idea to have a pickup truck that went all throughout New York and to present these concerts, completely spontaneous pop-up concerts. And that would mean that it's not audiences who bought tickets who knew the New York Philharmonic, but rather just people we encountered on the street. And the joy that music was able to bring them, especially in this time of silence of the pandemic, was very, very powerful. If you've never experienced opera, I would say, don't worry if you don't understand the language. Expect to be bored for at least 15 minutes, and know that after 15 minutes, you might find it less boring. And the other thing I'd say is, remember that it's a tightrope act. You know, it's very difficult to sing opera, and so once you tap into how physically demanding it is, it's kind of like watching the Olympics, and actually everything you need to know is right in front of you, and the story plays out on the stage, the music speaks for itself. So you might not like every opera you go to, but it's definitely worth going because some will change your life.